Matt, lovely to round off 2022 at Twerton Park with a deserved win today as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've worked extremely hard this year, and Twerton Park, after the first few games where the nerves were quite apparent to see, is slowly becoming a bit of a fortress for us, and it is becoming home advantage was what we needed.
With a few setbacks going into the game as well, your goalkeeper, no fault of her own, wasn't here, so you had to throw a centre-back in, so that can't help preparation.
Oh, if I had hair, I'd be pulling it out. It was literally at about an hour before the game getting these phone calls, but every player in that team is committed and we are ready and prepared if we ever have setbacks.
You had a great start, a brilliant goal from Emily Bristow, and then sadly she came off injured. You know what the latest is with her?
Last time we spoke to her, she was at A&E. She had just had an X-ray. That's all we know at the moment. She was in quite a lot of pain going off, and it has swollen up quite a bit, so we don't know the ins and outs, but hopefully it's something that will maybe just be muscular and she can recover quite quickly, but we won't know until that X-ray comes back.
And then obviously another setback, the Wales equalised for against around play soon after. You got the second goal right on the half time. A nice moment for Corinne Jones as well, who was certainly absolutely delighted with giving the team the lead.
Yeah, I think going to the equaliser for Wales, our players, I think, were almost in a bit of shock with how much pain Emily was in. So it did take a lot of the wind out of us, because I think up until that moment we were kind of high flying, but then that took the wind out of our sails and we let Wales into the game, unfortunately. But then, yeah, Corin kept fighting. I said in the warm-up to the players, I said, even though she was on the bench to start with, she had that fight about her today. And she really needed that. After a tough week, she's come back, and I'm really proud of her for getting that goal.
It was a smart finish as well, wasn't it? Very well placed into the corner. She kept her calm.
Oh, yeah, the keeper wasn't getting it. It was so well sort of delivered to her. And, yeah, she's put it right in the corner as well. She's done very well.
No, you've got a few goals from corners, which unusual. Paige Owen, who usually takes them, was in goal, and then nice to get the third one through Annie Hervey as well. Sort of poachers finish close range.
Yeah, I think one thing we did very early on in the season, we had like set plans for the corners, and they worked extremely well. But then I think the players started going through the motions a little bit with those routines, so we kind of dipped over the last few weeks on corners. But the last few weeks we've sort of had a chat and changed it up a little bit, and now we're starting to see the success rate come again on them. So yeah, we're going to keep going and keep progressing with it.
Defensively, I've been impressed with you pretty much all season as well. You've barely let in more than one goal a game often, and just the one today which I know that Paige will be disappointed with, but she didn't really have much else to do, which is a strong back line from your team again.
Yeah, I mean, defensively as a coach, that is something that I've always prized myself on, is having a strong defence. In previous years, maybe my attacking side has let me down as a coach, so I've sort of focused so much defensively, a bit very much part of the bus sort of style, but we've tried to adapt it this year with the women. We've got the players for it as well, and we're now starting to see that kind of strong defence, but then with a nice quick counter-attack and getting success from it, so we're happy.
Yeah, leading the counter, Tania Wright up front on her own. She hasn't scored this season, but I don't know how, because the effort she puts in, I thought she was excellent this afternoon.
She's probably the most unlucky player in the team in that sense, but she puts in a lot of work. And what she has been doing, as I said to her recently, she's got to take the success that although she hasn't scored, her work rate and her runs is creating so much space for others around her. I mean, Annie, for one, and Emily probably owe Tania a thanks for the space they find themselves in with some of the goals they score. So, yeah, she's got to keep doing what she's doing, and I'm sure it'll come. And when that first goal comes, she'll get 2 or 3 on the bounce.
Halfway through the season, how can you assess it so far?
I believe once the result is uploaded today, we are now second place in the league. Penmill seem to be kind of running the show, but my target was to make sure we were there or thereabouts with the leaders. I think there's like 3 points between 7th and 3rd. So today was one of those games where it was a 6-point game. We had to get those points to keep us at the top of that pile of everybody else. So we're going to keep going, we're going to keep progressing. The team have done fantastically well up until this point. We've had maybe 2 blips in the Ilminster game and the Wales game away, but we're going to keep going and hopefully keep Penmill on their toes right into the end.
The Ilminster next week?
Yeah, Ilminster away.
Yeah, wanting to gain revenge for the performance back here.
Yeah, I think there was a few things we went away. One, we weren't on our game in the first half, and 2, I think we probably deserved more from it, and the goals that we let in were maybe a bit on the soft side. So we're going to go out flying next week and try and correct the wrong, just like we did this week. We let Wales have the win last time, didn't play our normal way and sort of let ourselves down. We had to prove ourselves today in the return fixture, and that's exactly what we're going to try and do next week with Ilminster.
Have you passed on the good news to your assistant yet?
Not yet. He'll be ecstatic with that.
Yeah, we all are as well. Well done for signing off 2022 at Turton Park with a win, Matt.
Thank you very much.